Okay, what is up, everyone? We're going to be talking about nutrition and our nutrition basics as well. So, I want you to get a clear overview of what it takes to achieve your goals when it comes to your nutrition and your fitness and health. So, let's kick straight into it. So, the first one is calories in versus calories out. So, this is very important, although very basic. It can have a dramatic impact um, for your weight loss, or I like to I like to say fat loss. Right, whoever is on their journey, you'll understand the difference. You can lose weight and still be that skinny fat, or you can lose fat and start to see a little bit of definition and feel good because you have a bit of muscle definition with that. So I want to break it down a little bit: calories in versus calories out. So to lose fat or to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. What does that mean? That means that you're putting less food into your body to be able to burn or utilize the fat stored or the weight stored in the body, basically. You'll be getting enough into your body for your body to metabolize and to use as energy, but then there'll be this slight deficit where your body is starting to use itself to burn weight, to burn fat. And this is the only way that you're going to ever be able to lose weight or lose fat, right? Because you could be in a surplus and in all the most nutritious and organic foods that are good for your brain, good for your organs, good for your body, your muscles, everything, but you're still overweight. But you're eating so clean and so good for you, but you're still overweight. So you need to be in a calorie deficit. And then on top of that, what would be even better is to have as clean as possible organic foods. So the second thing that you should be doing when you're on this as well is keeping track or logging your food. This is going to help significantly in making the best choices when it comes to your foods. Although I have created a meal plan for you, going into the next one, it's really good to structure out. And I see a lot of clients doing that as well, as they like to play with their meals and they like to create things for themselves. So make sure that you are logging your food to get the best out of this. So you're following the meal plan. Yep, that's really good. But then you might want to substitute it for something that you like to eat. So write that down, log it in to the app that we use as well, MyFitnessPal. And then you should be able to see the breakdown of the macros in that specific food or that meal that you're about to eat as well. And then the last thing is energy in versus energy out. So if you're expending or if you're exerting more energy than you're putting in, you're going to lose fat regardless. I could eat McDonald's every single day, but if my output is huge, I'm going to be able to lose fat. I'm going to be able to lose weight. And this is where you see a lot of athletes. They can eat whatever they want, but when they start to slow down in the exertion or the output that they're doing so often and they still continue to eat the same shit, they start to put on weight. Mind my language. So it's very important to make sure that it is calculated, although everyone has been given their specific meal plan or their calculated meal plans. It is really good to keep that momentum in your training, because I've calculated to how often I've set your training program to. So it's very important to make sure that you're giving as much out as you're putting in. And then there will be that small gap where you're in a deficit and you will be losing weight, losing fat. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense. Any questions on that? Message me. Okay, the next one is your macros. Super important. So I'm going to break down each one and how important they are to you. Obviously, it's for me when I'm explaining these, they're not all be or end all, meaning, so for your protein, for example, your protein does not just give you muscle, right? Your fats do not just aid your brain in thinking clearer, feeling good, and your carbs do not just give you energy. There's obviously so many different things, but these are the basics, right? If you have your macro split in a calorie deficit and your protein is top priority, where it's 45% of the whole 100%, and you're getting 45% of protein only, you're going to have a lot of muscle definition as you start to drop your weight, drop your fat. You're going to have muscle definition. Why? Because you're doing the resistant training and you're recovering, your muscle is recovering with the protein synthesis that's going on with the foods, the proteins that you eat. So if you were to have less protein and more carbohydrates in your, say that was flipped on its head, and you had 45% carbohydrates and then ratios of your fats and proteins lower, you may not have as much muscle definition or muscle hypertrophy, so bigger muscle in that lean state. You may feel a little bit more energized, but you're going to have less muscle density because you're going to have a lot more carbohydrates in your body that your body wants to use as glycogen and use as energy. Not saying that you won't be muscular, but I'm just saying if you were to prioritize your protein higher, you will have more hypertrophy and more muscle definition. So macros, you all have your own different splits in the meals that I've assigned. So very important to understand that your proteins are for recovery. So these are just baseline, right? What I'm explaining. Protein for recovery. Your fat is utilized as energy for specific areas. So your organs, your brain, most of it. If you are low in fat, high in carbohydrates and protein, you will feel a little bit cognitively challenged because your brain isn't getting the fuel that it needs. So that's why people supplement when they're going in these massive cuts. But for you guys, there is no cut, right? Your body is getting a whole variety of foods. So your fats are good for recovery, but also it's good for fuel for certain areas. Carbohydrates utilized in the body as glycogen, right? It goes through a process called glycolysis. Oh, I forgot the name of it, but it goes through a process where it changes the carbohydrates, which is that the more starchy foods or the fructose, into glycogen, and your body uses that glucose, converts it into glycogen, and then you're able to utilize that in your everyday. And this is the source of energy that your body prefers because you can do more with it. You can run further. You can exert a lot more energy. You're stronger because your muscle cells are holding a lot more energy inside them, a lot more water retained with that carbohydrate. There is water with it inside the cell. So if you were to have a low carb diet, you're going to be weaker. You're going to be less thick, less dense, and you're going to retain less water. So with carbohydrates, the body, the cells love to utilize it as its prime source of energy. So that's the basic breakdowns of protein. Protein for recovery, fats for your organs and your brain and your bones, and then carbohydrates is your main fuel source, right? Everyone would have got a primal pattern diet type, and there would have been ratios that I would have been able to see that this person is specifically best on this type of diet. So I create that plan based off the answers that you've given in that, and then I put it in there, and then that's why you feel amazing because you've given me the blueprint of what to create specifically for you. So everyone is different. There are different types, and everyone has their best type. Follow that to a T. You will feel amazing because that is what your body is telling you that you want, right? In that macro split. So that's your body type. The next thing is to always prioritize protein. Why? Muscle density helps stimulate repair and growth. Quality protein also helps with repair as well. And what do I mean by quality? Whole foods. Whole foods. Although we use protein powder as a convenient substitute for a meal or added into a blend of foods, you should not be eating that consistently. Why? Because your body needs more of a variety than just a protein powder. Your body needs to be able to break down things and utilize everything that's in there. The best and number one that I recommend is whole eggs. I know some people don't like it, but whole eggs have a full range of amino acids that your body likes to use to repair, to grow as well. and not just the egg white, the whole egg. Yeah. Also, you see a few pictures here. Fish is really good. Try and get um, like naturally caught fish instead of farmed fish, just because of the high concentrate of. It's basically like caged fish, right? They're caged in small areas with their feces not being able to recycle as cleanly as being out in the ocean. Yes, every fish these days have high mercury, but choose your fishes. I think it's white meat if you're conscious of that. So white meat, and it doesn't have to be as often. You can substitute for other foods like your beef. I stay away from pork. That's personal preference. I do not like pork. I have pulled away from that. So my diet is lamb, beef, egg, chicken, or chicken eggs, yep, and chicken, fish, almonds, so nuts and seeds. And then occasionally, my body does not like dairy, but I do have raw milk now and then. So I recommend if you're going to have a milk substitute, do not go for any of the brands. I've just done a bit of research. Try and go raw, organic, whole milk. That is the best thing when it comes to milks or substitute milks. Almond milks aren't even almond, it's like 4%. Oat milk is just not good for you at all. Soy is just, they're all hormone imbalances. If you've already got too much of something in your body and you're just bombarding it with more, it's going to raise that and drop everything else, meaning estrogen, progesterone, and testosterone. So if estrogen is high, testosterone is definitely low. If estrogen is low, testosterone and progesterone will be significantly higher. So we have to understand these things, that these are hormone imbalances when we start to substitute these milks or other types of foods. Cool. Okay, variety. Pair your light foods with heavy foods. What does that mean? Salads with your dense proteins, right? Simple. That's nice and simple. Always have a source of protein in your meals. If you're eating food, even if it was vegan or vegetarian, you're eating food and there's no source of protein. There's no lentils, there's no beans, there's no nuts or seeds in there. We need a source of protein. Or tofu, even though that's high in soy, it's still a source of protein. If our body is dropping fat, we will be able to eat these sorts of foods if you are vegan or vegetarian. So be very mindful to always have protein in your meals. Yeah. Let your body digest the food for a minimum of 2 hours before you go and have another meal. And yeah, let your body digest food for a minimum of 2 hours. I put that in there twice. I don't know why I've done that. Okay, processed sugar. The body does not recognize processed sugar. So you could be having a croissant, or you could be having, white sugar in something, and you're like, man, that white sugar, although it's under my calories, I'm still putting on a bit of water retention in my hips. Why? Because your body cannot utilize it, doesn't even know what it is. It's like, you know, I don't know how to convert. It does know how to convert it, but it would rather not. It pushes it to the side. So if you're going to have a sugar, um, find something in nature, find something natural, the whole essence of it. Yes, you could probably have a sugar cane, and that would be better. Your body would process it better, but because it's been refined to crap, even raw brown sugar is no good for you. Sugar is sugar, right? If we have it in honey form or fruit form, our body is going to be able to metabolize it a lot easier. Fructose is more digestible to our body. So fructose. Cool. Hydration. So hydration, we all know how important it is, but do we know how important it is to remineralize our water these days? So Celtic sea salt, you do not need anything else. You don't need electrolytes or anything. Celtic sea salt, a pinch per 1 liter. I'm crazy with it. I do a lot because I'm always sweating and I'm always needing to rehydrate. Your water basically is the component that the body utilizes to get blood around, or to your blood is water, but to get the nutrients around and the minerals into every part of your body. So if we're low on hydration, the flow of blood around our body is going to be significantly lower if we were to be hydrated. One way that you can see if you're hydrated or dehydrated is push on your palm just under your thumb. Oh, where is it? Just under your thumb here. If you see that white area the red come back very slow, you're dehydrated. So mine, pretty quick. Always hydrating, always having Celtic sea salt in my water. Um, and it helps the body flush toxins nice and like that's as natural as it needs to be. It goes through your kidneys, goes through your liver, goes through everywhere that it needs to flush the crap. If you were to just go on a water fast with Celtic sea salt for 3 days, you will see crap literally come out of you. So good. And I'm going to structure it out, and I'm probably going to get used um, to watch me and be there while I'm doing it as well. So 3 to 6 liters of water, but because we're all individuals, we all have different uptake um, recommendations, general, right? So 3 to 6 liters. If your body is taking on 2.5 liters, and that's way more than it's ever taken on, and you're active and you feel good, you feel hydrated, stay there and incrementally um, add a little bit more as you go. But don't try and force your body, because then it's just going to flush out um, um, minerals that are inside your body. So just take it nice and simple. Don't go overboard with it. Yeah. And fruit also hydrates the body. If you were to have berries, citrusy fruit, that's going to remineralize, rehydrate your body. The fruit themselves, you can see it, it's nice and juicy. They're obviously getting that from somewhere, right? From the earth, from the sun. They're able to get that when they're growing. So they call that H3O2, and your body absorbs that as not only energy, so glucose, transferring it into glycogen to use as energy, but it also uses it to rehydrate the body. So fruit, and you can see inside your guys' meal plans that you have that littered everywhere. Cool. Okay. Now this one, 80-20 rule, super important to balance the way that you eat. Yeah. If I didn't have this rule and apply it to me when I was overweight and consistently hit it, I would not be where I am today, and I would not consistently be doing it. Although some days I may veer a little bit further than 20%, I come back and I'm consistent with that. 80%, I'm more 90%, oh, sorry, 90-10. But that's preference to me. If I'm on a fat or weight loss journey, 80-20 is going to be my best friend. So 80% high quality dense foods, 20% your favorite meals. And you got to live, you got to spend time with your family and your friends, and not feel like this is a chore. Because if this becomes a chore in your life, you're not going to stick to it. If this becomes a life changing lifestyle, you will consistently hit it every single time. So communicate if you have questions or if we need to change things up. Yeah. Everything in moderation, and nutrient density is key. So I could get say an avocado, and it equate to the same calories as a Kit Kat bar. I'm not saying that they do. This is just an example. But I could have an avocado and a Kit Kat bar. Which one do you think is going to be nutrient dense than the other? It's obviously the avocado, right? That's going to have a variety of different high quality monounsaturated fats that my body can utilize and heal, or give energy to. That Kit Kat is going to give me a big sugar rush and then a big drop, and then I'm going to feel like crap later. How do you feel like crap? You start thinking negative thoughts, you start feeling negative thoughts, and energy. Your energy drops. You don't want to do things. You don't want to jump in the ice bath. You don't want to train. You don't want to go anywhere. You just want to jump into a cave. That's how you identify what this food is doing to you. If I have nutriently dense food, I'm going to feel lively. I'm going to feel like I want to do things. I'm going to feel like an extrovert, right? That's how you can differentiate the two. Highly dense nutrition and crap, simple crap. But we need that simple crap. 20%. For me, 10%. Cool. Okay, last one. Remember to enjoy the journey. If you have any questions, get at me. Cool. I'll be in the group all the time. You have access to me 24/7. So ask your questions. I like hearing your voice. So send me a voice message. Yeah. Remember to enjoy the journey. Don't take it too seriously, and don't think that your coach is going to smack you up the ass and like really push you to achieve your goals. I can want it for you, but I cannot want it more than you. Yeah. Have an amazing day. I hope you enjoyed this training, and give me your feedback down below. Any questions, drop it in this thread here. Yeah. Have an amazing day.